Hello, Christina. Thank you so much for joining me on Social Impact Power Chats, where we talk with some of the smartest people that we know in impact to get down into the details about how we do this work. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Emily. I'm so excited to chat with you.
Amazing. So, in, full power chat moment, let's just get straight into it. Would love to hear how you got into social impact.
Sure. So I started my career with Expedia, the travel company, and in government affairs specifically. And a lot of that work was lobbying local, state, and international governments to help our business perform and succeed. And we started working very closely with our corporate social responsibility team at the time, in close partnership with those small local communities. And because of that work, was just able to start to work closely on our global social impact initiatives and eventually be hired onto that team. So I think it happened in a way that felt roundabout. I didn't start my career thinking I want to be a social impact girl, but I fell into it, and I'm so excited that I did because it's certainly such a professional passion of mine now.
And I'll say the thousands of people who I've spoken with have very similar stories. So very few people have a
Hmm.
straight line, pretty similar to my
Right,
own, the roundabout move. Um,
right.
so where are you now? Tell us kind of the current state of affairs.
Sure. So now I am at Culligan International Company. We are a water filtration and softening company based out of Rosemont, Illinois. You might see some planes going up above me in the back because we're very close to O'Hare Airport. And I'm helping lead our environmental social governance, our ESG program here. And that, of course, encompasses social impact, but also our environmental stewardship and water practices as well as governance. So really covering the gamut. And it's been awesome to see how the industry has changed from just social impact to corporate social responsibility to now it's ESG. It has a lot of different names and acronyms, but it's awesome to see the industry kind of evolve. And Culligan is such a great place to be and cares so much about this work. So super excited to be here. There's a
And
little plane
especially, oh,
behind me.
there's a plane. Ta-da. Especially being at a place where part of the core business fits so perfectly into some of those ESG moments. I'm sure you have your hands very full.
Absolutely. We really view sustainability as inherent in our DNA here, and a lot
For
of our
sure.
products avoid the use of single use plastic water bottles. So it's awesome to be here and to be at a company that cares so much.
Phenomenal. So, a big purpose for these power chats is to help people who are in similar chairs to ours learn some tips and tricks from people who are living this work. Um,
Hmm.
so, you and I had a chance to chat ahead of this call. The thing that I would love to tackle with you today is what does it look like to stand up a program if you're coming at something with fresh eyes and really approaching an ESG strategy, not necessarily from scratch, but in a new way. I'd love for you to tell us kind of like the who, what, where, when, why, how of standing something up and how you're thinking about it in your
Sure.
current role.
Sure. Well, I know we don't have so much time, but I'm happy to just give you a high level overview of what it looks like for standing up social impact here. And first, I think it's really truly going on a listening tour at any organization. Like you need to understand where people are at, how leadership is thinking about the program, whether it's social impact or ESG. Or any other type of impact at a company, and really like what initiatives are already happening. I think something that people in my position sometimes miss is just that there's plenty of opportunity to take advantage of that perhaps you're not even thinking about yet. So really going on that listening tour and meeting people where they're at is a great place to start. And then from there, really putting some pedal to the pavement with a strategy and start to socialize it, find out who is the biggest person in the room to listen to and perhaps your biggest advocate and really run it around them, and then eventually taking it to your leadership and getting buy-in at the top level in order to have support to bring it, whether it's globally or locally or to your own teams. So that's kind of how we've approached our entire program, and also particularly with social impact. It's something that we've cared a lot about, showing up for our communities and our people at Culligan prior to me even being here. So now it's kind of bringing all of that together, and then bringing a strategy to it. And I have spent my career in social impact, so I'm trying to use my vantage point as well. And what I'm really trying to get right here while we're building is bringing a holistic approach. Like, I want to ensure that it is both local and really important to a community like Rosemont, the same that it is as a community in Poland, but also really thinking about the big, larger societal problems that Culligan can help with. And if we're all about clean, safe water, how can we really solve that for people who need it most? So it's looking through multiple lenses and ensuring that we have the program and the strategy in place to attack it from all angles. And then just ensuring, I think what's so important with social impact, and I'm sure it'll resonate with a lot of people listening to this, is that it just needs to be community first. Companies are, of course, not experts in these big, hairy problems that communities are facing. So we really need to, again, go on a listening tour with those people to hear what is most important to them and how a company's resources could help. And potentially it's not in the way that a company is thinking. So it's just extremely important to kind of be community first and then bring your products or your solutions next.
Amazing. So, listening is obviously a theme, a critical piece of this work. We love to dig into lessons learned, something that, maybe in your past or in this current momentum, you've seen. What are some lessons learned specifically around listening, whether those be talking to internal stakeholders or external stakeholders that you've either learned personally or you've seen happen that you bring to this work because if you don't do X, Y, and Z, it's not going to yield?
Yeah, it's a really great question. I think a lot about level setting. It's whether you're speaking to a board of directors or to your leadership or a community member. Not everyone is taking advantage of the same kind of resources that you have. So sometimes I even have to take a step back as a practitioner to really explain what exactly the program and the importance of it is. And that is both to a community member who may be skeptical, who has potentially seen a company already come in and try to make a difference. And that's also to our leadership who potentially just can't even conceptualize how great of an opportunity this could be yet. So I think it's really just like kind of setting the stage for every conversation. So it's kind of the opposite of listening. It's kind of showing people what you hope to do and then listening to them to see their reactions and what's worked and what hasn't.
Brilliant. Critical lesson. And I hope it's something that helps people. It seems obvious when you say it, but I think it really is the place where so many people miss. And once you kind of lose that first chapter, it's really hard to recover value add from those conversations, right?
And I think it makes total sense. Like as a practitioner, you just get so excited and you're ready to just dive in. You're like, I need these two decisions. I can't wait to bring you. And I'm so excited about this program and bring you this program. But sometimes you have to really take a step back and kind of set the stage and the foundation to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Brilliant. Book it. Don't forget it. Level set. You heard it here first from Christina Beckman. Okay. Incredible power chat. Loved learning everything from you. And my final question is crystal ball. Knowing everything you know about social impact and where we are at in the world, where do you see this work headed, next year and beyond? What's your prediction if you had to put some bets in?
Ooh, it's a big question. I think our ESG program thinks, and any ESG program right now is thinking a lot about the regulations coming down. Of course, both here in the States, we're waiting for a few, but it's already happening globally in places across the globe. And that's specifically a lot of the times around financial data and carbon emissions, but it's certainly coming for social impact as well. So if I'm reading the tea leaves, I think there will be just some really great regulations coming down. And I say great because sometimes governments need to step in to ensure that companies are also advancing these initiatives. And so I think it's going to be really awesome to see us kind of needing to do this type of work on behalf of a company and not just something that someone's fighting for internally. Hopefully it will bring some great justification to our programs.
Could not have said it better myself. Having terra firma, like somewhere to really plant our feet, can be very validating and really motivating. So I love that you describe it as great. That optimism is where I am at.
Great.
I second it and cannot wait to see what you all are doing in 2024 and beyond, and keep us posted.
Thank you, Emily. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.